Understanding the nuances and behaviours of certain weapons is a key skill to have if you want to get good at Ghosts of Tabor. It's no secret that the weapons in Ghosts of Tabor can feel somewhat, Welsh. It's difficult to determine what is a well-considered feature or a game-breaking bug. Sometimes it can feel as if the weapons are mystical creatures that you need to collect the necessary gym badges for them to respond to your commands.
How are you alive?
However, creatures, they are not, no. They are carefully designed creations of hatred designed explicitly to pluck you out of existence. But don't let that put you off, no, because Yorick is here. The Master Rat himself is here to give you a breakdown on some key mechanics that will help you get better at Ghosts of Tabor. Let's go. I'd like to thank my good friend Longtime Brute for helping me with this video. He provided lots of clips for me to use in this video for weapons that I just didn't have available to me. So massive thank you to him, and his channel will be in the description. So cheers. Starting off, all weapons have a safety. Bear this in mind when you're looting players that you have eliminated or you're using the fire select switch as a fidget spinner. You can find yourself tossing away perfectly packed magazines or weapons entirely because you think they're empty or non-functional. Fortunately, certain weapons make it particularly obvious that the safety is on, such as the AKs. With the AKs, the fire select switch literally sits over the breech, so you can't even pull back on the charging handle. I always recommend, if you're going to be using particular weapons in Ghosts of Tabor, that you learn the telltale signs that the weapon is on safe. Doing this means that you can do a quick check to see if the weapon is on safe before you engage any targets.
Always trust in the AK. What did Doinkerton have? Oh no.
You can check how full your magazines are in raid. You don't have to use the mag pack every single time to determine how full your magazines are. All you need to do is take a magazine out of your weapon and shake it with your hand. What will happen is a number of buzzes will occur in your controller that give you a brief understanding of how full your magazine is. If you get no buzzes, that means the magazine's empty, but you can also check that by physically looking down it. If you get one buzz, that means you've got around 25% ammo, 2 buzzes means you've got around 50%, and 3 buzzes means you're around 75%. This is a great way to see the status of the magazines looted from other players or your own magazines before you enter any additional firefights. Oh, this magazine's trying to tell me something. Yes, it's saying that there's a link in the pinned comments to get 25% off of the game if you own a MetaQuest 2 headset. Oh, it's trying to say something else. Ah, yes, it's also saying that the game is cross-buy if you do buy it on the MetaQuest 2 with the Oculus app on PC. Huh, go to the pinned comments. Did you know that the Germans are just terrible at designing firearms? Yeah, me either. The MP40, MP5 and G3 all require you to lock back the charging handle to be able to insert a fully packed mag. This is an attention to detail piece that the developers put in the game, as this is exactly how the weapons are in real life. Essentially, the internal magazine spring cannot compress any further once the mag is fully packed, so when you try and insert that magazine into a weapon with the charging handle forward, it butts up against the breech and cannot lock into the mag well. This detail is technically covered off by the tutorial, but many people skip it, and it regularly catches people out. Fortunately though, you can do the HK slap, just not with the MP40. Attachments are extremely important in Ghosts of Tabor, with sights and foregrips probably being the most important ones to be looking out for. The iron sights in Ghosts of Tabor just don't feel particularly accurate at distance. This is actually a common thing with pretty much all VR shooters, so it's not exclusive to Ghosts of Tabor, and they have made steps to improve this by adding little white dots so it's a little bit easier to see the iron sights, but being able to slot something on like a Cobra sight or an OKP7 really helps you dial in your shots. Recoil is also just a fact of life when it comes to Ghosts of Tabor, and being able to control it is something that we all strive to achieve. There are, however, many weapons in game that are able to accommodate foregrips and sights, with the most common ones being the M4 and Galil being used in the early game. You can see by the footage over top that a foregrip has really helped reduce the recoil tremendously when firing in full auto. If you are fond of the AK platform, however, you are going to be stuck with the AK-74 variants and the AKM for a long time before you're going to be able to use a foregrip, as the only AK with a bottom rail for a foregrip is the AK Alpha, which just so happens to be a top tier Spectre level 5 weapon. So when using AKs, it's just generally a good idea to tap fire these weapons at range and use full auto at close quarters, but that kind of goes for all weapons. You can find foregrips and sights dotted around the maps in weapon crates, cabinets and drawers. It seems ridiculous, but understanding how each of your weapons reload is a weirdly basic but essential skill if you want to get as proficient at the game as you can. I only bring this up because I have met and know many people who got VR headsets explicitly to play Ghosts of Tabor. There are two basic reloads. Mag release and manual. Mag release reloads require the user to press a button, usually the top button on your controller, and depending on your handedness, that is B on the right controller or Y on the left. When holding the pistol grip in order to actually drop the magazine. You can then take a fresh magazine and insert it into the magwell. This is normally the preferred reloading method for Western style weapons such as the M4, SCAR and M16, but is also the more common method for pistols. The Makarov is the only exception here as it requires you to manually remove a magazine using your offhand. For manual reloads, you will need to physically remove the magazine using your offhand. There is no mag release here. This seems more arduous, but with many weapons you can perform a tactical reload using a fresh magazine. Basically, you run the magazine up a weapon and you can knock the old one out. It is both functional and stylish at the same time. The only thing you need to do after that point is just rack a bolt and you're good to go. Let me know in the comments below any tips or tricks when it comes to Ghosts of Tabor that you would like to see covered by me, or if there's anything that players should really be looking out for when they're looking at starting Ghosts of Tabor. If you want to see my video covering the very basics when it comes to Ghosts of Tabor, you can find a video roughly here. And until next time, ciao.